funding all of these promises. He's snapping at reporters. He's getting angry about it. Reality is it's you and I who are going to be paying for it. He's just not being upfront. And I've got to say, just on that point there, and Gary, I want to ask you about this. Why is Anthony Albanese so obsessed with Peter Dutton? And I said this earlier because he only seems to be at ease when he's talking about Dutton. The rest of the time, there is such an acute failure to communicate.
Yeah, look, Danica, let me just walk this through very slowly. Anthony was born and raised in public housing. You may not have heard that.
And
he carries with him the awful reality that while he's accumulated a great deal of a property portfolio, he's actually now living rent-free in public housing again. Two nice houses, one with a really terrific view. And Peter Dutton is living rent-free in his mind. And this obsession with attacking Peter Dutton just shows you that Peter is kind of framing the narrative and has been, frankly, for most of this Prime Minister's term. Peter Dutton's been the one that's been leading the debate on energy. The fact is that Anthony Albanese's government has presided over one of the greatest drops in the quality of living and the cost of living increases that's impacting every Australian. You've got bulk billing problems simply because doctors, like all the rest of us, can't afford the increase in insurance, the increase in electricity. They're small businesses, doctors. GPs are small businesses. And that's why Medicare's amount of money doesn't cover things. And they've got to find a way to keep the doors open for their patients. This bloke has absolutely no idea about the way that people are meeting the cost of living increases in the supermarket. And the Reserve Bank goes off the ABS statistics and says, inflation's sitting in the zone about 3%. But Danica, things are going up much more than that. Building items that go into construction, gyprock and Villabord, all going up about 8% in coming days. I mean, he's got no idea because he hasn't had to worry about it ever in his life. He's never had to worry about this.
He's well, I mean, he grew up in public housing, just in case, as you said, just in case we didn't know. Now, before we head to a break, I mean, today he lined up with breakdancer Ray Gunn. He joined the breakdancer for an annual cricket charity match. James McGrath, I've got to say, both have the same level of skill. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think so. She could probably do a better job as being Prime Minister, though, because he's a pretty average Prime Minister. Look, it was great they were raising money for charity, but isn't it sad that the charity had to raise money because Labor had cut mental health funding by $500 million. That's funding we're going to restore.
Disgraceful.
This is a Prime Minister who wants to politicise everything. To Gary's point before, the Prime Minister is obsessed by Peter Dutton. So is the Labor Party. They are going to make Peter Dutton the central point of the next election campaign. And I say bring it on, because the more people see of Peter Dutton, they like him, and the more they see of Anthony Albanese, the less they like him.
Yep,
it's going to be an ugly campaign.
Exactly right.
But that's what Labor are all about.
Well, that's what the polls show. That's for sure.